with this.
So what I want to know is why
well,
can't...
I don't know. I don't understand it because it's like I went there and all I know is it's just basically it just said something and I agreed to it. I guess because I don't know.
So Ben, I can't speak to that because what you agreed to is nothing I'm going to be able to.
But you know, with the failure to...
Hang on, let me finish. You can always go out and hire your own lawyer.
Right.
Okay, and at that point, will the lawyer take care of firing the Multnomah Defenders?
Probably by a simple substitution motion.
Okay, great. And then that's good to know. That's a starting point. And then in terms of rewinding to who forced him to sign up for their service, why did that happen? And can we pursue that as an unfair accommodation problem?
I can't speak to that. That's a legal issue. I don't know what that process is, and you'd have to talk to a lawyer in private practice about that.
Oh, right. Yeah, because it seems like they've railroaded him into these people that are actually hurting him severely.
If he can afford his own lawyer, he can go hire one anytime he wants.
But doesn't a citizen have the right to represent themselves in court if they want?
I'm uncomfortable addressing some of these questions, Mary, because they're questions for lawyers, and I can't give you legal advice.
Oh, I understand, but I mean, I took paralegal school, and we would always call it pro se or pro per.
Yeah, there's this concept of pro se, and whether the court will allow somebody like Ben to proceed pro se is something you'd have to petition the court for.
Oh, okay, and that would be via a substitution hearing?
Yeah, so again, you're veering way off of things that I'm really supposed to talk
Well,
about.
I apologize.
That's okay. I'd like to get back to the issues at hand. So what I'm hearing is that Ben is saying that he's had essentially zero contact with his lawyers, either verbally, in person, in court, whatever. And so I'm trying to flesh out the neglect issue. So let me read the rule. That's a good starting point for you to understand. The rule
Ben?
1.3 says a lawyer.
Can you hold on a second, sir? Ben, are you going to stay focused? Okay. Ben's staying focused. Okay.
Okay. So the rule says that lawyers shall not neglect a legal matter entrusted to the lawyer. So what does that mean? It doesn't mean that the lawyer has to do absolutely everything the client asks for. It means the lawyer has to do what the lawyer believes is in the client's best interest. Neglect would mean lawyer gets case, lawyer does nothing for 3 months when there should have been something happening. So if your lawyers are collecting discovery, negotiating with the district attorney, giving you advice about whether you should or shouldn't accept a plea offer, clearly your lawyers aren't neglecting your matter. But now I'd like to hear from you. What are they doing or not doing that you feel is neglect?
I understanding what's going on. Not contacting. They're not answering. Filling me in what's going on. They're not communicating with me. I don't feel like they're more interrogating me more than they are trying to be my lawyer. I don't understand what's going on.
Okay, so that's still the communication issue, but it's a little inconsistent with my understanding. And so they are talking to you about your case?
They're not.
They're not.
They're not communicating with me. They're not filling me in. I don't understand. They're not helping me understand, and they're not contacting me. They're not. It feels like they're not being a lawyer. They're not being my lawyer.
Got it. So that doesn't sound like a neglect charge. It sounds like the communication charge, just put a different way.
Oh, okay.
So I'm sorry, I'm looking for the email. What was your name? Could you tell Ben who you are and who you represent?
My name's Scott Morrill, and it's my job to do intake work for lawyer ethics complaints at the Oregon State Bar.
Scott Morrill.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Morrell.
Morrill should be in the email, and assuming we open a file here, my name will be on the letter.
Oh, great. Okay, great. Would you were you able to look over any of the documents that I sent?
didn't know that you'd sent any documents.
Okay, yeah. I believe well, no, actually, I'll attach those just so you can get a sort of a basic summary of some of the background.
Okay, but getting back to the neglect charge, and what I'm hearing is that it's really a communication issue, that you're not aware that they're neglecting your case. That is, sounds like they're doing something, you're just not understanding what it is they're doing. Is that fair to say?
No, they're not trying to. They're not contacting me. They're not communicating with me. They're not being my lawyer. Like and then on top of it, I don't understand. Just by the first time I seen her, she just said, "Oh, well, don't show up for court." What's that mean? I mean, she didn't tell me anything.
Got it. But again, that still sounds like communication, not neglect.
So how far does the neglect have to go before it's considered neglect? Like, for instance,
It has to be pretty bad. And like I said, the rule of thumb, not that this is a rule, but our sort of standard guideline here is lawyer undertakes a legal matter, whether they're appointed, hired, it doesn't matter, and then they do nothing for, say, 3 months or 4 months or 6 months, as opposed to lawyer gives legal matter, does a bunch of things, but the client's just not happy with those things. That's quality of service, not neglect. So in order for the bar to prove neglect, we'd have to show that the lawyer did nothing.
So the thing with musical chairs with the lawyers, is that a normal thing? Or I think maybe the first lawyer got fired for his negligence or fired for his disrespect of us, or I'm not too sure. And then this other lady supposedly stepped in, but she refuses to meet with Ben, refuses to talk to Ben, refuses to give any kind of accommodations or reasonable interpretation of where anything stands.
Right, so I can't speak to the musical chairs issue because that's an internal law firm issue. It's not a lawyer ethics complaint or lawyer ethics concern.
Well, in terms of their inability to meet with us, essentially, we had a lawyer and he walked on our case. That's how it feels. And he listened to Ben one day, and now he's totally out of it. Now nobody's representing us who even has a slight hint of what's going on, and they hung up on me for trying to get blind needs assessed, and all the voicemails are unanswered. That's neglect, is it not?
Well, it's communication. I can't say that it's neglect. Just, if Ben had a conversation with one lawyer in the firm and a different lawyer took over, then it's perfectly reasonable that the first lawyer would have provided the file materials, notes, whatever, and maybe had a conversation with the new lawyer if necessary for the new lawyer to understand the case.
Well, thank you so much for taking so much time with us. Are you going to be able to write the letter and have Ben sign it regarding the failure to communicate?
Yeah, so again, my intent is to summarize my understanding of Ben's concerns, send that to him, and have him initial that and send it back. It will not be a verbatim discussion, as I noted. It's just going to be a summary of what I think he's complained about, and if he or you want to add anything into it, feel free to do that. So let's start with, I need a mailing address for Ben and make sure I'm spelling his name correctly. I've got Ben